All right, so this is a Ford Maverick Lariat with the 2-liter 4-cylinder and all-wheel drive. Now, before I brought you a review of a Maverick XLT with the 2.5-liter hybrid front-wheel drive, but today I thought I'd bring you something a little more special than just a mid-range Maverick. So today I'm going to be bringing you through everything there is to know about this Maverick and all of its options and things like that. So let's hop right into the video. All right, so sorry for the messy hair. It is pretty windy, but starting up front, the whole car is finished in carbonized gray metallic, which I really like this color, but it's not one of the unique ones like Cactus Gray or Area 51. Other than that, of course, you have these massive headlights up here and this pretty large grille, and then you have these LED strips in the headlights as well. You also have these 2 tow hooks down here. And other than that, the front looks pretty plain for a truck. The Maverick isn't supposed to be striking at all. Now, coming over to the side, you have these black 17-inch aluminum rims with these 225/65 R17 tires. Those are an option. Those are the all-terrain tires. Instead of getting 65, you could also get 60 instead. And of course, you have a Lariat badge right here. If you got an XLT, it'd say XLT. And then you have keyless entry. I don't have the remote on me right now, but you have keyless entry. And of course, something I find a little weird when looking at the Maverick is about how it just cuts off right here. I don't know. When you stand back and look at it, the way it transitions over into the bed of the truck is kind of odd. Of course, you have your FX4 Off-Road badge right here because this has the FX4 Off-Road Package. Now, as for the bed, like in my previous Maverick video, I did go over the fact that this has 10 tie-down points in the rear of the truck. You also have a storage compartment right here that you can store like jumper cables or rope in, just in case you care about that. And on this side, if you come over here, you have another storage area, just in case you want to store more stuff back here. But like I said, 10 tie-down points, and for a truck like this, if you get the max trailer towing package, tow 4,000 pounds with the Ecoboost, and that's with the all-wheel drive as well. So you definitely have plenty of practicality in the rear of this truck, and if you are looking to tow 4,000 pounds with the max towing package. Now on the other side, it's basically the same. Of course, you have Ford's easy fuel system where you don't have to undo a cap every single time you want to get gas. It just comes off. All right, things that come included with that FX4 Off-Road Package include the tires I was just talking about. They're the all-terrain tires. You also get hill descent control, a heavy-duty radiator and cooling fan, and of course the FX4 Off-Road badges on the side. You also get a sand and ruts mode in your drive mode selection as well. All right, and so this one uses the 2-liter Ecoboost all-wheel drive system, with the other option being a 2.5-liter hybrid system that's front-wheel drive. This 2-liter Ecoboost makes 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque and is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. All right, now moving on to the interior of the Maverick Lariat. This one does not have the Lariat luxury package, and that means you miss stuff like heated seats right here, and you miss your wireless charging pad down here, and you also don't get remote start, so you get this pretty bland looking Ford key right here. But nonetheless, the interior of this is still pretty good. Go ahead and turn it on. It's a little weird that the start button's down here instead of up here, but I guess they didn't have any room, so they stuck it down here, and it's something unique about the Maverick. But like I said, let's start with those drive modes I was talking about with the FX4 Off-Road Package. Of course, you get normal, you get tow and haul, slippery, here's your mud and ruts mode that I was talking about, and you get sand, of course, all that with those all-terrain tires as well. Your center screen here is running Sync 3 on this 8-inch screen. It is pretty responsive, a pretty good operating system. I have it running in my Mustang, and some of the Ford cars still run it. Now this one has these all-weather floor mats in it as well. The Maverick Lariat also comes with dual zone climate control, just in case you're interested in that, and you have a bunch of storage spaces in here, 2 cup holders up here, and a lot in the region with the center control stack. Now if you shut the door over here, the materials in this car, other than the seats, are pretty cheap feeling, which makes sense because this isn't necessarily an expensive truck, but you do still get a bunch of storage space over here. And since you're on the Lariat right here, you do get a different colored plastic trim that's bolted to the piece with all the window controls. But let's go back to these seats. These ActiveX seats are absolutely amazingly comfortable, so much more comfortable than the actual leather seats that Ford makes. It feels like the ActiveX is so much better. As for some of the buttons down here, of course, you have your drive mode selector button right here, but then you also have your traction control button. Then you have your auto hold button, which basically allows you to take your foot off the brake at a red light and the car won't move. your auto stop start button, and hill descent control, which also comes with the FX4 package. Some storage space in here. You have a pretty deep center console, but there is not any connectivity ports down there. And over here, you have a decently sized glove box. Now, as for connectivity down here, you get a 12-volt socket, a USB Type-C, and a USB Type-A, and then you have a power window switch for the rear back there. As for your gauge cluster, since this is the Lariat, you do get a larger screen. It's the same screen you would see in the Bronco Sport with the same gauge style, of course, normal gauges. This one was also equipped with the Ford Co-Pilot system, which means it has lane keep assist right there, and it has blind spot monitoring as well. You have a sunroof right here that is power operated, easy to use, nothing too crazy, and of course your map lights up here. All right, moving into the back seats of the Maverick, more connectivity back here, USB Type-C, USB Type-A, and a 400-watt wall outlet. And again, these seats back here are ActiveX, and they are really comfortable. And then you have a center area right here where you can put cup holders. Knee room back here, surprisingly, with how small this truck is, knee room is good. I have about 4 inches of knee room right here. And then headroom, being as tall as I am, I have a decent amount of headroom, probably, I don't know, a good 3 inches of headroom that I'm able to utilize without any issue. With how small this truck is, it is pretty practical. Okay, so driving the Ford Maverick with the 2-liter Ecoboost instead of the 2.5-liter hybrid. Okay, first of all, it feels like an Escape. To be honest with you, it just feels like an Escape or a Bronco Sport. Like I'm sitting in here and I don't feel like I'm driving a truck. I mean, it's a Maverick clearly because the interior design is a little different than those vehicles are. But the engine is the same thing you can find in an Escape Titanium. 250 horsepower. I'm pulling out into traffic right here. That all-wheel drive system gives it plenty of pep. And that torque is very well utilized with the all-wheel drive system. And even if it was rear-wheel drive or in the front-wheel drive case, you don't have enough torque to do anything like terrible to the car. So you're not going to spin tires. So efficiently, the torque is put down in this 2-liter all-wheel drive variant. Now the gas mileage in this, it's so brand new that it's saying 8.3 average. That is not the real average. The real average that the EPA estimates for this vehicle, I'm going to pop up on the screen right now. But as for the interior and how it's laid out, it's very ergonomic. You know where everything is. It's very close to you. Like I said, the seats are really comfortable in this ActiveX, though some other parts can feel a bit cheaper. Sync 3 is good. The gauge cluster shows all the information you need, and on your home screen you get to see your speed, your range, your odometer, compass, temperature, and then your real-time gas mileage. Window sticker right here, though. Let's talk about the price. $33,695. That's a far cry away from the $19,995 this starts at, and of course that's before taxes, dealer fees, things like that. Again, $33,000 is a far cry from $19,000. So, do I think this thing is worth $33,000? Well, there's a lot. You're 3 shy of a Mustang GT, and if you got the Lariat luxury package, that puts you at about $36,000, which is a Ford Mustang GT. But if you're buying this, you don't care about a Ford Mustang GT. If you're buying this, you care about a truck that can get around with good gas mileage, that is maneuverable and practical. That is what you care about with a Maverick. So, $33,000, and you get a lot of good little creature comforts in this. So with as much as you get, I'm going to give it about a B. I think the XLT is a lot more value-oriented than the Lariat is. You start with the Lariat, start getting into Ranger pricing. So if you're getting an XLT, I'm going to give you an A on the value because you're going to be under, you can be under $25,000 and get a pretty practical and well-equipped truck. But once you get above 30, yes, you still get a lot in this, but you are running into some things where 33,000, wow, okay, that's a little steep for a truck like that, and that's more than I paid for my Mustang. I paid 27. So, yeah, 33, but when you get under 25 in the XLT trim levels, I feel like you're getting a lot better of a deal. And plus, if you get an XL, which I don't know why you'd be getting an XL, but you still get the 8-inch screen. You get a smaller gauge cluster, and you get the 2.5 liter with front-wheel drive, but I doubt that drives Of course, it's going to be slower and it can't tow as much, but, you know, you're not going to be totally down and out. And now let's put some more power into it, some more throttle. Yeah, like I said, this thing can effectively put down that horsepower and torque. That torque is so... Sometimes it's hard to put down torque in trucks if they're front or rear wheel drive, but since this is all wheel, it does do a good job of putting it down. And it doesn't have any dead area. Like, it's for a small little truck built on an escape platform. This thing handles really well. It just feels like it's there. Like if I was doing 75 down the highway, this wouldn't have an issue doing it. I know it's small and that can scare some people because look at the EcoSport. But this, I mean, gosh, it's spry. It feels like it's on its feet. The transmission knows what it's doing at times and doesn't have to guess and, you know, throw you off and downshift or upshift when it's not supposed to. You don't feel like you have to be driving it in a manual mode, which this does not have, by the way, so don't think you're going to be able to do that. But you just feel like the car is in control and you don't have to stress out about driving something like this because you're not supposed to. Just like you don't stress out about driving an F-150 or an Explorer or an Escape. It does it for you. The job of the vehicle is to be practical, is to be economical, and is to do what the manufacturer says it's going to do. And we're going to do an acceleration here when the light turns green. Whoo! Wow. 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 I'm impressed. I knew the 2-liter EcoBoost was a monster. I mean, that is in the Ford Focus ST. But in this? Gosh. All right, Ford, you've impressed me with this truck. And so that is the Ford Maverick Lariat. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more from us, go ahead and subscribe. And make sure leave your comments down below about how you feel about the new Ford Maverick and whether you like it, hate it, plan on buying one, or wish it would completely fly away from the earth. Anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next video.